Today, Ryan is going to be providing you with the official tier list of which board game themes are great and which ones are not.
Official, meaning there are no opinions in this video, only fact.
Alrighty, Ryan, I'm going to get you started with a real softball. You're going to rank this in an S, A, B, C, D, or F. So
we got the F tier.
There's no E.
Okay.
So S will be your greatest and F will be your worst.
Okay.
Ryan, what do you think of farming games?
Ooh, farming. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I like it more than you might expect me to like it. I don't get excited about it. I thought there's going to be like subgenres of this later. Probably there's some things that are farming games, maybe not all the way farming, but I'm just going to give farming. I almost want to give it an A actually.
Whoa.
I'm feeling B in A. It's like right there.
Yeah.
By farming, do you mean like farming in your backyard, or do you mean like?
I think farming is like crops and nature.
I'm going to give it an A.
Yeah.
Just because if it's farming in your own backyard sort of games, it actually excites me a lot more.
Yeah.
Small scale farming. Games that are large scale farming, like generically planting. I planted wheat. That would almost be like C.
Alrighty, next up is a category that I feel like has found a lot of success in the last 10 years for games.
Okay.
And I know you've played some of them. So Ryan, how do you feel about cooking games?
Ooh, cooking. That's another good one. I don't hate it. Again, if it's really generic, I don't like it as much. But yeah, there's just Kitchen Rush. Some good games. There's not enough of them. Sushi Go is garbage. But other than that, but cooking is exciting. I'm going to give cooking, I'm going to give it a B.
B tier.
I almost want to say A, but I'm going to give it a B.
I mean,
I'm like in a test when you answer A, you don't want to answer the same one again.
True. I'm actually like, for me, I'm leaning towards S tier for this one.
Really?
I think it's an amazing board game theme. Like, the possibilities that come out of it, I think are great. For me, this is definitely like a strong
I would
S
be
tier.
thrilled to play a cooking game that actually was, this happens sometimes where someone makes a game on a theme that's been used a lot, but they actually make the mechanics matter.
Yeah.
I would love that. So if you're out there designing a game and you make something more than just make spaghetti, but you actually are doing stuff like, I don't know, somehow rolling for successes, somehow making cooking more integrated, that would be so cool. I just feel like that game doesn't, at least I haven't played that game. Maybe it exists.
Yeah.
But I haven't played one, so I would love that. So I'm going to stick with B, though. I'm just going to be confident on that.
Well, speaking of cooking then,
Okay.
bouncing off of that, what about where our food comes from? You know what I'm talking about? Animals. How do you feel about animals as a theme for a game? Not necessarily animal slaughter.
That was a weird transition. Sorry about that.
There's going to be a lot of great segues today.
I don't know what you think about what I'm going to say about this, but animals is actually pretty low. Mm-hmm. Surprisingly low. I'm pretty sure we're going to, since you said animals, I'm assuming there's going to be something plant related later. Animal themes don't excite me. I'm going down to D.
Ooh.
I know. Now, I'm not saying there aren't... We played Ark Nova. It was cool. I'm not saying there aren't good games based on animals. If you're like, Cascadia is a great game, that's fine. It can be.
Yeah.
I get nothing out of the whole, like... I feel like animal games tend to, for some reason, lead to poor photography. I don't know why. But I feel like so many games that are like animal-themed games are like, here is a leopard. And I don't care.
Yeah, I think there's like some good games where I see animal theme being used. But the theme of animals itself, to me, doesn't necessarily make me think, wow, think of the possibilities and great things you could do with that theme. It's just like, it is a theme. Not that the games made using it aren't good, but speaking of animals and speaking of D, dinosaur. How do you feel about dinosaur-themed games?
Ooh.
I would even expand this to say prehistoric.
I'm going to make some people mad, but that's going to be our first F. I just don't care. Okay.
I know.
Okay. Okay. Hear me out here. I know
Can
this
you
is...
please give it a D for dino?
When I was in college, I had a friend who was ecstatic because she was able to take, for credit for her degree, a class about dinosaurs. I had to hear about it every week at least, probably, for the whole semester. You're still my friend. But I was just like... I had such a high degree of I don't care. I just doesn't excite me for some reason. The whole thing, it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't get find new fossil finds, whatever. I think it can be interesting, but I'm really not. We just played a dinosaur themed game today, and I was just like, it's okay. It's almost negative. F would be almost like Like again, if you think about these ratings, if you're below the midpoint, you're going down. So, and it's true. If I hear a dinosaur or animal themed game, I'm less likely to want to play. They drop down than going up for sure. So,
I think that's
sorry,
especially dinosaurs.
Sorry, dinos.
So I want to try to swing us back around and give you a theme I know you'll be really positive about.
We're being so negative.
Our next up theme is Marvel. Marvel.
Oh, is that a theme?
I think it's basically a theme at this point. There's so F tier. Oh.
F.
Do you just want to? Would you like to just include all IPs in general?
No.
I was like, there's some great Star Wars stuff out there.
No, just Marvel.
Marvel, just Marvel.
I'm over the Marvel movies. I was never into the Marvel movies. It's just, it doesn't set you up well if you're not excited when the first one comes out and there's 27 more.
But don't you want to play Munchkin with Marvel characters? I'm just saying.
Next.
A lot of possibilities.
Next.
All right,
Can I please do something positive?
I was kind of giving you a little bit of teasing there. I knew you weren't going to like that one. But I think this next one actually is a contender.
Okay, all right.
So this is another game that has been popular. Another theme that's been popular in games recently. So how do you feel about games focused around disease or disease management? Or I'll even extend that to growing the disease, since I know of one, at least in particular, that you are the disease.
Man. You're killing me here.
You don't like disease?
No.
Oh, I thought this would be a little higher for you.
D.
I
don't like games.
It's just all F and D tier. Like we got farming and cooking, and that was the only themes you like.
I just don't get excited about it. I think they got too popular.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I agree.
Sorry. We're going to get more positive here, people.
I'm looking down the list.
Next?
I'm looking down the list like, okay, I gotta pick one that he's going to...
Throw me a life preserver, life preserver, life vest, what's...
Preserver? Life preserver.
Life ring?
No, life preserver, I think. Speaking of life preservers, do you know one thing they do once they're wrapped around your body?
They save your life?
They transport you. And so I'm kind of wondering, speaking of transport, how do you feel about transportation and transit games? That's the theme. C.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't get excited, but I also don't. I played Let's Make a Bus Route. That was cute. Mm-hmm. That was fun. I think the theme... B. Make it a B.
Whoa!
Moving up to B. I think it can be charming.
Okay.
I think I spoke too soon there.
Yeah.
I think in my head I was thinking of a different theme more so. But the more I think about it, yeah, there's something I like about it. It's all just done charming.
I agree.
I think they need to be light, charming games, not...
I kind of... They're like perfect games for like little puzzles, I feel like. That's a great theme for like small little puzzles or small little competitive activities. But I don't know if they're like good for the epics for me. But like, I think it's a pretty good thing that has some ideas, good ideas emerge from it. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can do trains. There's subways, there's transit, subways, cars. But what about if your, transit was steam powered?
Just train games?
Train games.
Dude, you're killing me. I really do like games. That would be a C.
A C?
No, a D.
D, yeah.
It's a little negative. And this is actually nothing against train games. It's just there's too many of them.
Yeah.
This is like the fantasy thing where like another fantasy game.
Yeah.
If I had never played a fantasy game, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Just same thing with train games. You're like, oh, we don't need another train game.
Well, since you brought us there, you want to rank fantasy while we're down here? Since you already mentioned it,
D right with that.
I'm with you on trains. I think trains, it wouldn't kill me so much, but there's just so much of it. And I feel like a lot of the possibilities for them being great have been explored, and there's in some good ways, too.
Move on.
So, get over it. Okay, so let's go back to that life preserver.
Okay.
One thing that I think about life preservers is that they're really only useful...
I let Joel do all the segues here, so I'm sorry. I'm real sorry.
You're welcome.
No, that's true. It's true.
There's really only one good place I can think about using a life preserver. The water.
Okay.
How do you feel about games set in water or the ocean or nautical experiences?
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I guess it just doesn't feel like it's been done as much. Even though I can think of lots of games that have been done in it, it just feels more unique, and maybe it's not, but I'm going to give it a solid... I'm almost leaning on S.
Whoa!
Just because I think I would be excited about it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it an A, because I don't think it's that excited. I don't know if I get
this is a weird one where I feel like I love the theme, but I don't even have a single game I think I can point to that's like, that's the game I love in the ocean.
Right.
So I almost feel like this is a theme I would love to see more because I love the ocean.
Right.
So I'd love to see this theme done like really go for it and make a great like ocean game.
Well, wait, are we including Cthulhu coming out of the ocean in this ocean? Because if we are, that's dropping.
F.
I'm not including that. I'm talking about like almost real life water theme kind of like a thing. So that in my mind.
Speaking of real life water things that are eaten by Cthulhu, pirates.
Oh,
how do you feel about pirate games? Arg.
Pirate games can be good. They're not often good though. But I like the idea of being a pirate in a game. I would give it a solid B.
Wow.
I just don't have strong feelings about either way. I think if it's done like Dead Man Tell No Tale, does a really good job. It's cooperative. Yeah. But it's just a good job of feeling like you're a pirate and things are dangerous and the ship's falling down around you. I feel like lots of pirate games don't give you that feeling of like intensity. You're just kind of like, I'm a pirate and I will move my boat here. And I want it to be like a little more unhinged. So a game where the world's falling down around you is perfect for pirate.
Yeah.
But I think I'd be, if you were like, I found the new pirate game is great, I think the pirate would give it a little bump. So I feel good about B.
Yeah, I think one thing I've always sought is there's this old video game called Sid Meier's Pirates. Mm-hmm. And I'd love to see that done in a video game. Not exactly, obviously. But I don't know of a game that really gives like the pirate life experience. Like, I know some that are like sailing and having ship battles. And I know some, like Dead Man Tell No Tales is like my favorite pirate game. But I don't know if there's like a good one that's like the whole pirate life, like adventure.
Libertalia?
That's my favorite game!
I've heard people like Marauders, Marauders. I never played it.
It's okay.
Okay,
I've never it is the most like sailing around doing different things. Okay, that actually kind of does what I want, actually.
It's perfect.
It exists, but it's not very good.
Okay.
Alrighty, we've taken to the seas, but now it's time to take to the skies. That's right, Ryan? Not too high up, but kind of in the middle zone where there's still some oxygen. How do you feel about airplane games?
Oh, I thought we were going up higher than that.
We could even include air transit in here.
Just airplane?
Airplanes, yeah. Games set on airplanes.
F.
Whoa. Is that uninteresting?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't... Okay, here's the thing. I've been to Board Game Store, and I've looked around at games, and there are 2 or 3 or 4 popular ones about airplanes.
Yeah.
And one was on sale for $7, and I was still like...
New?
Yeah, new.
Really?
New.
Wow.
I don't remember which one it was, but I remember just thinking like... Yeah, it's not worth $7. And like I looked at the back of the box and it's like airplanes moving across America, and I'm like, that's what they do. I don't know. I just don't get excited about it.
Okay, I want to ask you, what would be your price? Like, let's say you go in, it's $4.
You have to pay me.
You wouldn't take it for free.
I would. No, someone would like try this out for free.
It's not so bad that the space would be annoying on your shelf, but would you pay $2 for it?
No.
$1.
Maybe.
$1. If I had this game new in box right now.
And right now.
And this actually has been a whole ploy to get you into airplane games. I'm like, who's your tier list?
I mean, I think they could be cool. I don't know. Like, I think the minis look dumb always because they're like little generic airplanes. And I could almost go D, but F is way more entertaining. So, F.
Well, Ryan, we've talked about boats.
Okay.
We've talked about airplanes.
Okay.
But you know what we haven't talked about?
Boat planes.
Well, exactly. That's why we're moving on to steampunk. I wasn't kidding. It really is boat planes. How do you feel about steampunk as a theme?
Okay.
This would be the most divisive one on the list.
I feel like people really like steampunk.
People like steampunk.
I love it.
Or hate it.
Or hate it. I'm going to have the most middle opinion that won't offend anyone. Hey, we just made a top 10 game, popular games we hate. We are all for being hated on.
If you find yourself insufficiently offended by Ryan's opinions, go check out that video.
It's way harsher. I don't know. Steampunk, it's weird. I sometimes see a game. I've had this happen in a few games. I don't remember what the name is. And I'm like, that looks really cool. Then someone referred to as steampunk. I almost thought like, oh, I didn't realize it was. Yeah, I guess it is kind of that like turn of the century feel to it. But almost it didn't process my brain. I thought it looked really cool. I've also seen steampunk that's really dumb looking.
Yeah. And
just kind of like machines and smoke and like I don't know. So I think it would be I feel like of anything so far, I feel like I could, if it was done well, I could see it being like, A. I could also see it being like pretty bad. So I don't know. We'll just go with B.
That's pretty nice.
I almost want to say A.
Wow. You are.
Do we have more A's or B's right now?
Nerd. We have more B's right now.
Put it in the B. I don't know why I asked that. I don't know. It's like, no, make it a C.
C. You almost were an A.
Make it a C. I changed my mind.
That's your first C.
Make it a C. I started thinking of games and I decided it has to
You're
drop.
like, actually, this theme's not very good.
I was like, oh.
Steampunk is a form of alternate reality from our world, And let's roll back the clock on our reality.
Okay.
And take a trek through history. And history. How do you feel about history themes?
That's pretty low.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought you were been on like this high, I feel like, was trekking through history.
No, that's one of the things that's crazy about trekking through history.
You don't like the theme, but it works.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Okay.
Okay, there's two ways you can do historical games. You can have a game about a historical thing. I don't know if that's what you mean in general. You can have a game like
I would probably say
Emotep.
time travel is separate because it may appear later.
But there's games like Emotep.
Yeah.
And Emotep is like about a historical thing.
Yeah.
I like that a lot more than a game that feels like a history lesson. Which is funny because I actually really like history. I take my free time to read history. Some people are like, you must not like history. I do. I just don't want to play a game that keep being tied down to like reading off stuff. Okay, if we're just about like an historical event, I'm going to give it a B.
Oh,
because I was
thought you were going to be so much more negative.
I was thinking that so the theme is I don't know what you mean. So the theme is history.
So negative.
Okay, but if you mean like, are we just observing themes of like we're going to look at history? That's pretty low.
I feel like it's that. Like
just looking at history.
It's like things about history. Like I think if you're like doing a game about Egypt, it's an Egypt theme. If you're doing a game.
Oh, then make it a
about
D. Make it a D then.
I feel like this is like specifically things around history, right?
Okay, I was saying like Emotep. I like that, but if it's like if it's a theme that's like we're going to learn about history, and the theme is learning about history, and there's not a lot of games that do that.
Yeah,
that's pretty low.
To me, that's what the theme is because you'd have to have a separate one for Vikings, and you have to have a separate one for Romans.
That's true.
I don't know. I feel like that kind of has to encapsulate it. D it is. So, speaking of things that happened throughout history, there have been a lot of wars fought. And how do you feel about games that focus around wars?
Real wars? So some games are around a fictional war.
They can be both.
Both. A fictional war is better.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, how about this? If it's World War II, it's close to F. I think World War II is fascinating. So I'm actually, again, I like history. It's just that so many games are like, we need a war theme, quick. Hey, World War II? Yeah! That hasn't been done. Yeah. Just make at least World War I, like something different. But we kind of know the weapons in World War II. We know the forces that were involved. We know stuff. So many things are, I don't know. It's a hard one for me to rank. If it's World War II, it's pretty low. I don't want to play World War II again. I've played so many computer and board games World War II. If it's a different war, like here's a war that, was fought in the Middle East in 500 you've never heard of, like 524, that whatever it is. I'm just going to give it like a solid B.
B. Wow, that came up pretty high for me. I'm pretty impressed.
I'm thinking B.
I was thinking you were going to go for C.
Make it a C.
All right.
You're a tiebreaker. Make it a C.
So there's been a lot of wars fought throughout history, but there's probably none greater than the war, and none greater known than the war fought over this next theme. So this next theme up is sushi.
Sushi?
How do you feel about sushi themes?
Sushi themes.
The greatest war known to mankind.
Sushi, if rating the food sushi is an S. I love sushi. The theme sushi, I'm going to give it a solid A.
Wow.
The game Sushi Go.
No, we're not talking about Game Order. You got it in A. We gotta move on.
I love you, Phil.
Talking about sushi and eating sushi has just like, I don't know, made me feel bubbled up and like in love because I love sushi. And man, how do you feel about romance games?
D.
Yeah.
F.
Oh, spicy take there.
I just don't have a desire to play them. They could be good, but if someone says it has a romance theme, it's like the whole, I don't know if this includes, but also if they're like, it's an After Dark theme, it's just like, boom, bottoms out. Don't like it. I agree. Not interested.
I have some that I like, but the theme is actually like no for me, like as a theme. It makes me not want to play the game. How do you feel about The Princess Bride as a theme.
Just the Princess Bride.
There's a lot of Princess Bride games out there, dude. How do you feel about it?
I'll give that a solid A.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'd be excited to play it. I only played one of them. It was fun.
There's a lot of them.
The game wasn't great, but the theme was fun.
That's true. The theme is fun, and especially if you are already into the movie.
Yeah, yeah. That really came out of nowhere, but sure.
Yeah.
I wonder if there would be any essence in this whole video.
I'm really starting to wonder. I thought a couple
When are
of
the
these...
themes going to start to get good here?
How do you feel about Wild West themes?
Ooh. Wild West is one where the themes is better than the games I think are made around it. I think the theme is actually fun. If you were like,
Really?
we're going to play a Wild West game, I think I'd be like, eh. I just have this expectation of it not being anything interesting, but the theme is fun. I give it a B.
It's kind of interesting. I feel like I kind of have the opposite experience. Like, I'm really lukewarm on, like, I don't like Wild West themes. It's almost, like, towards fantasy for me, where I'm like, another one. Like, but there's a few games I can think of in particular that I'm like, oh, I really like that Wild West game. So, it like, kind of redeems it for me.
It's probably
just a
like
little bit,
Pirates to me.
Yeah.
If the game feels like it's like chaotic and like gunslinging, I might like it a little more.
Yeah.
If it just kind of like you just slapped on a theme, don't just slap on Wild West because it's going to be lame because it should be exciting. So.
Yeah. One of the exciting things about the Wild West, though, in that time...
What's better, me ranking or his segues? I don't know.
It was when people started developing all across America the first cities. And you know what was an important part of that? City planning. How do you feel about city building and city planning games?
Cities weren't made until America.
We invented cities.
It's like the most pro-America propaganda right there ever. People throughout all
We
humankind
get a flag up here.
couldn't figure out cities, but America did.
Yeah,
So wait,
right.
what theme? I'm so confused now.
City building.
We're sorry. City building. I'm gonna give city building. That's our first S.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, baby. Me too.
Yeah. I like it. I think
City
it's
building's
one
so
that I
good.
wish there was more games in
Me
it.
too. Mhm.
But I'm just it's an exciting theme.
Yeah.
Like there's engine building, but specifically if it's with a city building, I don't know. Just I feel like there's so many great computer games that do that, and I just
Me
wanted
too.
a board game to capture that. I feel like I haven't even found Suburbia's good. But I'm still waiting for that one that's like, oh, this is the one. I just haven't found it yet, but I'm excited about the theme. I'm still looking.
Yeah, if we were ranking games, I don't think I have an S tier city building game.
No.
But like the theme, I'm like, oh. And yeah, there's so many good computer games around. Like, I could probably find 10 in my Steam library,
Yeah.
20, that I'm like, these are all great. I love all these games.
Yeah.
But like a board game, I'm like, yeah, I like Suburbia. Between Two Cities is fine. And there's like several other like good ones, but city building is just...
Yeah. Such a good theme.
So this is a little bit down that same vein.
Okay.
Civilizations games.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's a little bit similar.
S.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy S.
Really? Why?
Yeah. I mean, the scale is different. The
Yeah.
Civ game. I feel like to make a Civ game, you have to have, in my opinion, tracks.
Yeah.
You have to be somehow you're gaining some ability. You're moving up in an area. You're making choices. I'm going to commit to this Civ building. I'm going to have more economy or something, and that just feels really good.
I feel like you almost need multiple paths to victory.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You could win different ways.
And so if I had to rank those two, Civ is above City.
Whoa. Do we need another tier?
No. I think S is sufficient.
Finally, we got some S
Stop the
tiers.
video now.
All right, we got some S tiers. Thank you all. Have a good night.
No, don't click on it.
We're
There's
going to
more.
keep going.
Yeah,
Don't-
please.
don't leave.
Please don't do that.
Speaking of American things, but generally worldwide things, I think we have a problem in the world. It's that we don't talk about politics enough. So what if we let politics come into our games? How would you feel about that as a theme?
Believe it or not, I actually like it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think
Yeah?
I don't think there's enough political games. Now not games based on real politicians. I'm not into the whole like people. Well, we're actually making a real statement about this, right? There was some game I played on our phone that did that, right?
Yeah.
And like depending on how you formed your government, whatever it was, it would give you a little message, kind of like that was a bad move because that form of government's worse. And you're like, okay. I'm playing a game here.
Okay,
Chill.
Okay.
But if it's just like politics or kind of like, scheming in politics, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or just, that's pretty high. We give that a good I give that an A because I'd be really interested to try it out. I feel like I haven't done enough of that. But yeah, it's an intriguing theme.
There's a couple of good computer games that do it. I feel like it could open up to a lot of interesting mechanics, as well as like if you're like playing against each other and trying to sway like something politically. It could be really interesting because you could be like causing damage, both trying to do the best thing, right? I feel like it's a pretty neat idea for
like the way it really is.
Yes.
I want to get some things off my. No, not really. Go on to the next one.
That's right. And you know what happens? Eventually, in a society, politics fail. We start launching nuclear bombs at each other. The world ends. Post-apocalypse happens.
Ooh.
The world's barren. Very few survivors. You've mutated. You have 17 limbs. And
Wow.
6 tongues.
Wow.
Does that make you like the theme more? Or
So what's the question? I'm so lost.
Post-apocalyptic.
I have 17 limbs.
You're like thinking about 6 tongues in your mouth right now. You're like,
I'm going to give that, B.
All right.
I think if it was done less, I'd be more excited.
Me too.
But it's just kind of become... I don't know if zombies is going to be on here, but it's kind of become like... If no one had ever done a zombie game, maybe I'd be more excited, but it's been done a lot, so... it's fine.
How do you feel about racing?
D.
Oh, that was so quick. Okay,
Yeah.
right. Wow, just really?
I just...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just...
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Oh, well, now that you say NASCAR.
I'm like, I really like viticulture. People are like, well, it's a race game. I'm like, you don't
Yeah, that's true.
talk to me about that. Keep your mouth shut. Like, I get it. You are racing to 20 points. But the theme of racing is what I don't like. I do like race games where you're racing to a point total.
Definitely.
But the theme of just racing, I'm just not excited by. There's a lot of them. I've tried them out. They're fine.
I'm glad you brought up NASCAR because this next theme is something NASCAR in it isn't, and that's sports.
Wow. I would say they're going to offend a lot of people, but I don't think there's a big Venn diagram of people who are in the board games.
Yeah, probably
in NASCAR. Because you have to be able to read. NASCAR's S tier. We had it on there. Sorry. What were you doing?
You really came after that.
I don't know why.
You had to be able to read.
Hey, you made this far in the video. We're here for a good time.
I thought I was like, it's not a sport. I'm gonna get them. And you're like, they're dumb.
It's late.
Yeah.
We had energy drinks to stay awake. Woo! We're not responsible for what we're saying right now. So wait, what's the theme?
Sports.
Sports. Okay. When I first hear sports, I think gross.
Yeah.
Not real. I actually like sports in real life. That's actually a small Venn diagram. People who like sports and like board games a ton. I feel like not as small as NASCAR, but I think it's bad. But then I start thinking about actually it would be kind of cool. There's not a lot of games based around sports, so I'm going to give it an A.
Oh.
I recently heard about a game where you're drafting. I haven't ever played it, but you're drafting a basketball team. You're trying to get the good stats together and everything for a team. And I'm like, I was like, actually, that actually sounds kind of cool. Like,
yeah.
You're like the manager trying to build a team. That's what you're drafting. I thought it was kind of cool. So I guess it would be a little higher than I expected it to be. But I just recently found myself a little like it just hasn't been explored much. So I think I'd be in for that reason.
In sports, we have great players like Messi, LeBron James, Albert Pujols, amazing players, and people look up to them sometimes, even on their teams, as heroes. People that do above normal, and they do something super heroes.
Wow.
Isn't that an interesting idea for a theme?
C.
Beats Marvel.
It's true. It's true. Just to see. It's fine. I think if a game was superhero and avoided all IPs and gave you unique powers, and not like the whole it's not based on IP. What do? I shoot webs. They call me Tarantula Man. If it's just, I would be more into that. But I feel like in general, I'm just not into the superhero theme. So
yeah, I think it's pretty tired too. Yeah. There's a lot of content out there.
I mean, superheroes has been popular in comic books for a long time. We've had a lot of superheroes, and it's not going away. It's just here.
So much there. So, but kind of tangential to superheroes are the supernatural.
Okay.
How do you feel about supernatural themes? Themes involving, mysticism and magic, not necessarily fantasy, but there could be crossover there, of course.
Okay.
But ones that kind of lean into the magical elements of everything.
F.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Name a game that I like that has that theme.
Mysterium.
I know, but I mock the theme all the time.
Yeah, I don't even tell people the theme when I teach my game.
I'm a ghost.
Yeah.
I've never been really into like people who are like, I want to read a really scary story that's been made up about like real ghosts. I'm like, I'm not into that at all. Like, not at all. Like, I'm not into the scary stories. I don't like movies about that stuff. And just because I'm like, this is dumb. Why are we like, I don't know. People get really into it, and it's just never been my thing. So yeah, it's very low.
Wow. I would have said like a D. I think I don't like it, but I don't like some things like romance. I'm like, no, don't want that at all. Sometimes magic, I can be like, okay. I don't want any romance.
Wow. Hang on, I think I should be asking the questions here.
I'm glad we got back to romance because next up is a very romantic theme. That's right. We're talking vampires and werewolf themes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're killing me here.
Oh, yeah. Just keep stacking those F tiers, baby.
F.
Dang.
Can we include zombies, or zombies going to be its own thing?
No, we can't include zombies. That
Is zombies its own thing?
It could be.
Okay. Those are all...
I don't have a segue for that, man.
Those are all so low for me.
I'm
just like, I just don't care about like, oh, and then guess what? They turn to a werewolf in a full moon. I so don't care.
Dang.
I'm sorry.
You're so rough on it.
Vampires are slightly higher than werewolves.
Vampires are slightly better.
Yeah.
Fury of Dracula is an okay theme for that game.
Because Dracula is its own thing in my mind.
Yeah, it's not vampire culture.
It's just so bad. Yeah.
It's so much better. But one thing that's true about werewolves and vampires is that sometimes they travel through nature. And how do you feel about games that are about nature and growth and life?
Okay. It has been overdone greatly.
More than a little.
Greatly. So I wish we would slow down on it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I actually like the theme. For some reason, I find it friendly. Like more so than animals. Maybe because I'm not an animal person. I don't own animals. I can like animals. I think animals are fascinating in the wild, but I don't like the games about them. Something about nature. I think you can find some really like genotype, like based on trying to like I think make beans and like breed beans the right way. They're really fascinating things in nature. So as long as it's not just like really generic, like who has the tallest trees, I'm probably pretty cool. I'm gonna give it an A. I feel pretty good about that.
I kind of agree. I think it's the theme that's really overdone because it does work. And there's also, that's a really broad category.
It's really broad, yeah.
There are, like you said, there's like a lot of things, like there's pretty good farming games. Like you could probably argue that like viticulture could belong in like a nature theme almost. It's kind of like that farming kind of style. It's not like your typical.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying like in general, but also like photosynthesis is like a nature game. So they're like, it's a pretty broad theme that I feel it can spawn a lot of different ideas.
Yep.
So I think it's a pretty solid game for that ranking. I think it's pretty good.
Good theme, yeah.
So, but one thing you'll never hear out in nature is music, except the song of the birds.
Oh, music! Interesting. I did not see that one coming at all.
It was a category when I googled it.
What do you mean by music? Give me a little something to work with.
Sure, I think this is a pretty broad category.
There's a theme on like a game on Mozart's life specifically, or do you mean more like the generation of music?
See, I feel like a game on music needs to be a game that is about music. A game about Mozart to me is more history. I would call that a history. Okay. It's a little bit of both, right? It definitely has a music theme if it's about Mozart, but maybe a game that explores musical ideas, like maybe even music theory. Or it could be one that even just is more topical about pop songs of the generation, you know, of the 50s maybe, if you're into like those Scene It kind of games, which I guess Scene It is probably visual, not, because that's why it's called Scene It, because you've seen it.
I don't know. I have no thoughts about this. I think if someone told me there was a game, and it was based about the actual like process of music, something in the roots of music. Like there's a game I played that's about music, but it really wasn't at all. And I was like, they say it was frustrating. It was really a word game, but it wouldn't have anything to do with music at all. And it was like weird that it had nothing to do with music. Really had a little bit, but I don't know. There's a game I heard about where you're getting your band together trying to give tours. I'm gonna give it a B.
I think it'd be a really cool idea.
Yeah, if it was done well.
You could even... It'd be hard to not go deep if you like did something like close to music theory, because then that's just not going to be accessible for anyone. Yeah. But yeah, like it could be a fun theme, like starting your band, like your garage band.
You need someone with enough like charisma. You need people with talent, not necessarily the same people.
The charisma goes to your lead singer.
Yeah. Talent.
Yeah,
that would be pretty good actually.
Oh man, one thing that's interesting. On bands, right? We've both played in like several bands throughout our lives, and like one thing that's really interesting is drummers. Like they can kind of get this like drool kind of going. They're kind of out of it, and it's like they're dead when they're playing, but their body's still going. And makes me think of zombies because they're still moving, but they're dead inside.
F tier. My biggest regret was when I play Small World, and I'm like, the zombies the best race out there. It's a perfect combo.
You have to embrace that which you hate.
I'm taking the zombies, and I'll play the zombies. It's just like the other ones. It's just lame. It's overused. Yeah. Way overused. Zombie movies are dumb. Zombies, like they're just.
It's not
even the ones people are like, well, do a funny zombie show because it's a joke and it makes fun of zombies. No, that's been done too. We're just done. We're done.
We've been doing zombies since like the 50s.
We're done
everywhere.
We're done.
It's probably met the end of its life. Ryan, you are getting down to your last 5 themes we have for you.
I didn't know we were that close.
Yeah, you've gotten through 36 or 31 themes, and you have 5 remaining.
Wow, that was fast.
Now, we've just talked about zombies, and there's one problem in almost every zombie story that always comes up, and that is the search for the cure. But most of the time, there is no cure. But what if there is, and what if there was a game about medicine?
Oh. I'm just like all the way through these segues. Just like, where are we going? Where are we going?
Dude, I take you on a journey.
You did. Medicine.
Just. I like medicine, hospital. It's pretty broad.
D.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That doesn't excite me at all.
With only 4 left. There's a certain type of monster in theme that causes you not just to break down physically.
Stop doing this to me. F. It's an F. Make a new tier for worse than F.
No! It is not that bad.
Cthulhu.
Worse than zombies? Yes, Cthulhu. Yes. Worse than dinosaurs.
Yes.
Cthulhu.
I'm so...
Imagine you weren't over it.
I was never in it.
But imagine it wasn't over.
I remember when you introduced me to Eldritch.
Okay.
In my first play, I was like, this is just stupid. I'm not into it. For some reason, it just doesn't speak to me at all.
One thing that could be interesting to people who may be interested in that, who aren't here in this room, is that they're mysterious. There's a mystery. There's something you're looking for.
Okay.
And that brings us to a certain category game of solving mysteries.
Okay.
And investigation. Right? How would you rank?
Okay.
A mystery.
If you actually get to solve mysteries, I'm going to give it a solid between B and A.
Okay.
Games that are just generic games that like the theme is mystery, but they don't do anything with mystery about it, no investigating. Like I don't think the Sherlock Holmes game is great. We are reading off mystery, but I like that they actually went for the theme and you actually do solve the mystery. You're doing... Yeah. I really enjoy they did it.
It's one of a kind.
It's not my favorite game, but that theme is cool to me. So if it's just... The theme is mystery solving, but I collect the like blue cubes and turn them in to win the game. Now it's pretty low. I'm gonna give it a B.
Yeah,
I feel decent about.
I think that's pretty solid. That's probably where I might even go to C, honestly. Maybe.
Yeah.
But there's probably some pretty good examples out there of ones I do like it. But I think as a theme, maybe B because it has a lot of possibilities.
It does.
It's pretty broad.
Yeah.
Plus, you could kind of combine mystery with any theme. It could be a zombie mystery, and then it would be an F tier. But it could be a city building mystery. Who broke the pipes on Elm Street?
Wow.
Sherlock Holmes, one of the greatest mystery detectives of all time. Well known for a beret and a monocle, no? I don't know about the monocle, but the monocle makes me think of another instrument that you look through with one hole. You know what I'm talking about. Pirate spyglass. But we're not talking about pirates, Ryan. We're talking about spies. How do you feel about spies as a theme?
Spies. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know a lot of spy-themed games that...
Yeah.
I'd feel like the other one I did earlier. Like, are you actually going to feel like a spy when you play it?
Yeah.
Because I'm a little more, like, interested. Like, if it's, like, again, has a theme of a spy, but you don't do anything spy-like. Like, I think, Heimlich and Company, or, what's it called? Top Secret Spies.
Top Secret Spies in here.
That is very simple, but you kind of feel like a spy because you're being sneaky. And I kind of like the themes. I'll give it a solid B. I don't think I'm thrilled about it, but I think I'd be excited to play it. Like someone especially was like, "Hey, this game makes you feel like a spy. You're doing some sneaky things." That sounds cool.
I think I'd give it an A.
Really?
Honestly, it's not that I can think of a lot of games that have it, but it sounds so fun. Like it's almost like the same excitement I get for a hidden identity game. You know, where you're like, people don't know you're bad. It'd be like that. I'm like, oh, like we can all be spies. We are on to your last ranking. I do think this will be a positive ranking for you, but I don't think it has quite enough to get you to S tier.
Okay.
But we're going to have to see. This is a big, big category.
Oh,
I'm trying to think of a segue, and I'm stalling,
Sci-fi.
and I can't think of a segue from spy. In the popular British sci-fi show Doctor Who, often there could be an episode with a secret spy.
Wow.
And it often revealed that secret people in Doctor Who aren't what they seem to be. In fact, they're not spies. They're not the Russians. They're not the Chinese. They're not someone trying to, whoever, Britain's enemies are. I mean, they're not our enemies.
America.
They're not Americans. They're actually, you know what? Aliens.
Oh. Okay.
And this is the place where aliens come from. Space. The final frontier. Yes. For your final theme, I have saved space sci-fi.
Huh.
How do you feel about this as a theme?
All together?
All together.
That's a tough one.
I know.
It's a very big category.
It's big.
I would almost so just real generic space.
Yeah.
I'm a little over, right? It's been like very overused. But once I see a unique theme in space, I mean, like space is a big place. Like sci-fi is a big, big category, especially if it's space/sci-fi. I almost want to put this in S tier.
Oh, we ended on a big daddy. Give the people what they want.
Let's do it. S tier.
Yes.
Okay, so I recently read about a game that it was like there's going to be it's a science fiction made up battle that's happening between the futuristic Martians with the home planet of Earth. And I was like, that just sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like now, if someone's like space thing, what is it? The ships are going to shoot each other. Whatever. But I thought there's much potential. There's still a lot of potential still in space.
Yeah, there
unexplored potential in space. So I don't know. I could almost feel like an A, but we don't have as many S's. So let's go there. We're right there.
But it's a theme that has continued to surprise me because even recently we played Galaxy Trucker. I was like, what an amazing, goofy idea out of space. And I don't think the game itself is the most amazing game in the world, but what a fun new take on something that's pretty done, but it's not done. It's the final frontier.
Right. No, I think it's a really good big category. You can be really creative in it still. So I almost think in S. So what are the S's? What do we end up with?
Alrighty, Ryan. So I'm going to give you a quick recap of how you've ranked everything. Okay? We're going to go fast. So let me have it. Okay. Here's your F tiers. Things you think are trash. Things that if anyone out there likes, remember, objectively speaking, you're dumb.
Wow. I'm sorry.
Ryan, you've given us dinosaurs. Yep. Marvel. Airplanes, romance, supernatural, vampires and werewolves, zombies, and Cthulhu. Do you agree with your rankings?
I only regret airplanes a little bit. Maybe I think that was early on the list. I was like, there might not be that many Fs. It's probably the lowest. I would move airplanes up. Can we move airplanes up?
Yep, we can move airplanes up.
Like it's not as bad as vampires and werewolves. So I didn't know. I wasn't considering how. I was trying to bookend the top and bottom.
That's good because whatever you leave here, you will be judged for the rest of time, as I've learned from tier-list videos. All right, in your D tier, you have animals, disease, trains, fantasy, history, racing, medicine.
Ooh, what are the first couple again?
Animals, disease, trains.
All right, can we bump disease? Let's bump it up one.
Wow, really? Yeah. I actually thought you were going to bump animals up.
I just think it's not exciting to me.
Okay.
There's a lot of animal games I like, but disease is interesting, I would say. So yeah, we'll give it a nice bump.
All right, in your C tier, we have steampunk, war, and superhero.
I feel pretty good about that. I could almost move steampunk down, but I'm cool with where it's at.
Alrighty, for your B tier, you have cooking, transit, pirates, Wild West, post-apocalyptic, music, mystery, and spa.
Can we lower music? I don't know. I'm a musician, so I wanted to help it out, but let's move it down to C. I just don't think it deserves to be there. I'm sorry.
All right, we're getting up to your A tier.
Okay.
Things you love: farming, water, sushi, Princess Bride, politics, sports, and nature.
I mean, I feel like by putting Princess Bride there, I'm saying the games made off it are good. I'm not. I'm just saying it would be a fun theme.
It is a great thing.
Say it again.
Farming, water, sushi, Princess Bride.
Can we put farming in S? I just like farming games.
Yeah.
I think I was.
It's deserved.
I think it was one of the first ones you did, so I was nervous about putting an S too soon. You know, when you do that. I think I really like farming, so S tier.
I agree. All right, and that leaves you with your S tier,
Okay.
which has city building, civilizations, space, and farming.
All games should be one of those 4 themes.
Yep. Don't have new ideas. Use those 4.
I mean, we're in space. So you
final
could
frontier.
do space zombies. No, please don't. Please don't. Yeah, this might be the list that we read in a month would change more than almost any of the lists because I don't know. I feel pretty good about what I've done. I'm happy with how it turned out. I didn't know. It's scary to think there's 36 things. You start throwing them into categories. You don't know if you're going to end up with like 20 Bs or something. So I don't know. I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting how you've kind of ranked them. I feel like almost correlates to like quantity of games in that category. Not always. Things like zombie and fantasy obviously are like there's tons and you just don't like them.
Yeah.
But all your like S tiers, like oh, those are like huge categories with lots of great games in them. So I think it's almost natural that some great games have emerged from great themes. So it makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of Fs, but I think also we could have clumped lots of Fs into one category.
Yeah.
Monsterish type of things is not my thing. So I feel like I had to bash those a lot. But those could almost be a category. Then something like space or sci-fi could have been split to multiple. But I think that did generate a lot of Fs. I don't actually have a lot of themes I hate, but they are the ones that revolve around supernatural monster stuff, which is Cthulhu, zombies, all that stuff. So
Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and get subscribed on your way out. That way, you won't miss out on more board game videos.
And also, if you want to leave a comment and let me know where you differ from the objective truth, feel free to do that too. See ya.
See ya.